Special.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's easy to see where Carl got Carl from his family. Sweetness from Gloria, well-spoken from his brother. It goes back and forth, you know. Poppy, his fabulous love goes back and forth. Michael, his dad, for his outrageous behavior. And I know this very personally. Outrageous behavior, but fun, sweet, delightful. From his uncle, wonderful cousins to play with. An extended family, another father. It's fabulous. From an aunt and uncle living up in Crested Butte, a cousin as well. The love of the outdoors. It goes round and round in family. I'm going to share that funny story I told you about at the beginning when Carl did the snafu. Two things. We thought it was going to rain downpour, just like yesterday. That's what they told us in Colorado. But it didn't happen that way. For Carl, we would have been outdoors. We would have been enjoying the sunshine. We would have been in our khakis and t-shirts and flip-flops. Thanks for coming here today instead. I guess this is what Carl had in mind. The funny story, Carl came back from North Carolina, and he was smoking a few cigarettes. Some of you have probably seen Carl do that. Well, he had a pretty good habit when he arrived. So I said, well, come run with me in the morning. I go up this trail up Sydney. This is the staircase thing. It'll keep you in shape, but I'll let you get a lead going because, you know, the altitude and everything. And he's, you know, 50-plus woman is gonna beat me? Heck no. I did. For the first 5 times we ran together. Because of the altitude, because of the smoking, not because he didn't want to beat me. He so did. He would go out and run in the afternoon when I wouldn't run. Because he knew he had to show me that he could get up the mountain before me. And it wasn't too long, another week and a half, where it was, Carl, this is my turnaround spot, Carl! We had a good time. It was a lot of fun. He was a fabulous influence on my daughter. My daughter is Nikki Bowe. He lived with us, and I like to think of my daughter as a female Carl Olson. As some of you know, she's a bit on the wild side. Carl always tried to calm her down, talk to her, tell her to take a different path. I don't know if it worked or not. I have my daughter here in her friend Taylor. Taylor's going to speak for Nikki. Thank you.
Today I stand before you to read what Nikki would say if she could be here with us. I got to know Carl a few years ago when he and his dad moved in with me and my mom. When I was little, I would complain to my mom that I wanted an older brother. Finally, I got what I wanted. By the way, this is in first person from Nikki. Being the girly girl that I am, Carl helped me get more in touch with my masculine side. I can vouch for that. He was one of the few people I could easily talk to and be nothing but myself. Carl taught me so many things in such a short period of time. He taught me how to push myself each and every day and to challenge myself in ways that I have never thought possible. Every Saturday morning, Carl would wake me up just before sunrise to see if I wanted to go on a run with him around the Wonderland Lake. Most Saturdays, I would say, no, you go, let me sleep. Finally, after me turning him down enough on Saturdays, he finally had enough. He came into my room and would not leave until I said yes. I thought this would be a fun job, but it soon turned into a competition since we are both very competitive people. After we had gone around the lake once, he did 20 push-ups and suggested that I do 20 as well. I did 10 in a row and then stopped. He said to keep going and that it was easy. He was very persistent and patient and did some sit-ups until I finished. Then we ran around the lake 2 more times after that and did 20 more push-ups after each time around the lake. Carl taught me how to play frisbee and how to punch someone if I ever needed to. The funniest thing was that he taught me how to spit. He had a bit of a chewing tobacco in his mouth and kept spitting as we were walking down Pearl Street. We stopped and sat on a bench. We wanted to see who could spit the farthest, so he gave me a bit of chewing tobacco. I ended up beating him and asked, "So how does it feel to be beaten by a girl at spitting?" He replied laughing and said, "Very manly." Carl was protective of me and always worried about who I was dating and where I was. One night I was stuck out. He told on me and I ended up getting in a lot of trouble. Carl only wanted the best for me and for me to be safe. Another funny thing Carl and I used to do was to ask each other how we looked before we went out. He would ask if he looked good and I would say to untuck his shirt or whatever needed help. Usually he needed quite a bit of help. When I asked him how he would look, he would say fine, but that I had too much makeup on. I usually did. When Carl and I were asked to clear away the dishes after dinner, I would sigh and say, "Do we have to?" And Carl would immediately start to take the dishes away. He never complained about what he was asked to do. He just did what had to be done without any attitude. When he had just finished Boulder High School, I was starting my freshman year, and he liked to give me advice, and it was great advice. He told me to go to class, because I wasn't so good at that. And he said that he didn't want to spend the rest of my life in the ozone. He said that skipping class makes it very hard, almost impossible to graduate, and that he was surprised that he actually did graduate. The last time I saw Carl was at Justin's house where he wished me the best and said farewell. Carl was such a character. He could always turn a dull party around. He knew how to be serious at times, and he also knew when to joke around. He always found time to be with his friend. He was also very polite. He was the kind of man who always opened the doors for the ladies. He liked the ladies. He could be very immature at times, but that's just because he was still a child in a young man's body. Since Carl encouraged me so much to do well here in Australia and not to waste any time in high school, I have since gotten straight A's and not missed a single class. I will keep striving for perfection. And when I think that I can't run that extra lap or do those extra push-ups or whatever great challenge that is put before me, I will think of you, Carl, and what you have always told me, that pain is temporary. Let's just be thankful for all the special moments that my brother has left us. And with that, I hope Carl will continue to live on with us in our hearts and minds. That was Nikki's word.